Should record it in progress. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining tonight's session on the MIAD 809, which is international political economy or international economic relation. Let me just put it like that. So tonight we'll talk about international economic relation. This course is just about how politics and economic relate in international levels. You see that most of our classmates, some of them are bankers, some of them are accountants and the likes. And this shows that for you to do this course as a banker or as an accountant, that shows that it's something that have to do with your field. Understand? Like when we study how countries borrow money, how business is done internationally by countries and the likes. So for you to understand this course, you should be able to understand the concept of politics, economics, and international relation. That is how economy and politics and international relation interrelate together. That is the interaction between politics and economic, and also the nexus between politics and economics, and how they shape the global political system. So without wasting much of our time, we'll go straight to the concept. As I said, you need to understand politics, you need to understand economics, and you need to understand international relation and how the three interact together in the international political system. Now, what is economics? Understand? Because we need to understand economics, then we'll understand politics, and then we'll go back to international relation. What is economics? Understand? The generally acceptable definition of economy is that it's about how people and society use scarce resources to meet unlimited human wants. That's the generally acceptable definition of economics. That is how people and the society use scarce resources. And when we talk about scarce resources here, we talk about labor, land, capital. Understand? We talk about labor, land, capital. So how do the society and how do people uses this thing? How did they use this thing? Understand? How do you use land, labor, capital to meet up unlimited human want? As we all know, people have needs and wants, and that exceeds the available resources. That is why in the definition, we said it's about how people use, how people and the society use scarce resources. You understand? How you use scarce resources to satisfy your unlimited one. Imagine today you have 100,000. You'll be aiming to have 200,000 tomorrow. Next tomorrow, you'll be aiming to have 300,000. Listen, someone that have 2-bedroom flat today will be aiming to have 3-bedroom flat tomorrow. So we have unlimited want and need. So how do we use this unlimited? How do you use available resources, scarce resources? Let me just put it like that. How do we use scarce resources to satisfy our unlimited desire? Understand? This is economics. Understand? And when we talk about economics is divided into two. You understand? It is divided into two. We have the microeconomy and we have the macroeconomy. Micro, small. Macro, big. Microeconomic and macroeconomy. Understand? So, what is microeconomy? Understand? Microeconomy studies individual decision by household. So, microeconomy studies individual decision by household. That is your house, your decision you make economically in your house. You understand? So by household, by consumer, or by firm in your company, the decision they make economically. You as a consumer, why do you prefer to use this product and this product? This is what microeconomy is going to study. Understand? Why do you prefer to buy this brand and not this brand? Listen, some people will say, I prefer to buy Dangote spaghetti. Some will say, I prefer to buy another spaghetti. So why do you prefer to buy this and not this? This is what microeconomy study is. Microeconomy studies individual decision by household, consumer, and firm. Understand? This talks about something simple, something minor. Understand? That is why it's micro. economics. So it study individual decisions by household, consumer, and firm. As an example, why do JJ prefer to buy this product and not this product? Listen, you can go to the market and see two products, and this two product is from different brand. You can see a product, but it's from different brand. So why do you prefer to buy HP and not Dell laptop? Listen, so this is what my microeconomic study. But on the other hand, the macroeconomy, that as I said, the macro is a bigger one. This study economy as a whole. Listen now, the bigger picture of economy. It studied the GDP of country, gross domestic product of countries. Listen, so it studied inflation, unemployment, national incomes. This one, it doesn't talk about the individual or the consumer or the firm, but it talks about the global economy as a whole. So I repeat again, the microeconomy study the individual decision by consumer, household, or firm. But the macros, on the other hand, study economy as a whole. Understand? By analyzing inflation, the GDP, the unemployment. Understand? This is about economies. Hope I'm not too fast. Hope I'm not too fast. So on the other hand, this is about economy. On the other hand, politics. The most acceptable, the most popular, let me just put it, the most popular definition of economy is the definition where we say, politics is politics is who get what, when, and how. All students of political science must know this definition. That's the most popular or most popular definition of politics. Understand? So this definition is given to us by Aaron Laswell. That's if you go to Google now, if you just type politics by Aaron Laswell, the definition you will see is it focuses on who gets what, when, and how. That is, when you talk about politics, that means someone have to get something. Who get what? What does the person get? The person get power and authority. Understand? When does the person get that power and authority? During election. And how? Understand? By maybe campaigning or rigging or any other means that the person used to get a power. Understand now? So our last world definition of politics is who gets what. It's focusing on who get what, when, and how. Understand? So politics is about power, decision making, and governments. Understand? Politics is about power, decision making, and government. So it involves three core things. So when you talk about politics, it involves three core things. Understand? The number one thing that politics involves is the use of power and authority to make decisions that affect everyone. The use of power and authority to make decisions that affect everyone. So that's why sometimes when you say you don't want to do politics, if you don't want to do politics, that's your problem, because you do politics, you don't do politics. Politics decision is going to affect you in one way or the other. So that's why we encourage more people to join politics, because there is no way you will do by escaping politics. You understand? So that's number one core thing that involved in politics. Number two things that are involved in politics is the creation and enforcement of law and order. Understand? The creation and enforcement of law and order. You can put in bracket policies, which means that if we talk about politics, we must also talk about the creation of law. Understand? The enforcement of law. That is why we have those people at the legislative arms of government. They make law. Understand? Those people you see at the House of Rep and the House of Senate, they make law. Understand? Why our governors, our commissioners, our president, they implement the law. You understand? So it involves the creation and enforcement of law and order. You understand? Why the third core things that involve in politics is the allocation of value and resources in the society. When you talk about politics, when you talk about politics, sorry, when you talk about politics, it also deals with the allocation of value and resources in the society. That is why you see every year they talk about budget, they talk about budget. So there is no year in and out. You will not see the government, even the state government, even the local government now in Nigeria, they're not talking about the annual budget for the next year. Understand? So in short, politics is about the decision and the power and decision maker in the society. Understand? It's about power and decision making in the society. Understand? So you tend to look at why is it that the government decide, you see, the government will decide how much student will pay in school, right? This government will enforce you to register the name of your children when you give birth to them. Understand? The government will enforce you to pay tax. Listen, so when you look at all these things, there is no way you will pull politics aside in the society. So politics is part of what. So if someone says, sorry, I'm late, please. Let me check the comments. Someone, sorry, I'm late, please. What are we discussing on today? Okay, Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel is asking, what are we discussing today? We are discussing 809, and 809 is international economic relation. Understand? And when you talk about international economic relation, before you understand that topic, you must know what is economics. On the other hand, you must know what is politics itself, and you must know what is international relation. And you need to understand how these three elements interact together in international political system. You understand? So that's why I first came with the definition of economics, and you met us explaining the definition of how do you call definition of politics. Understand? So when I said economics is it's about how people and the society use scarce resources to meet unlimited human wants. And I explain the scarce resources. The scarce resources are land, labor, and capital. Understand? So why I give the definition, I proceed to the division of the economics, that economics has two branches. We have the macroeconomy and we have the microeconomy. When we talk about the microeconomy, that is this one study individual at the lower level. Understand? It study the decision making by household, by firm, or by consumer. Understand? That is why do you prefer to buy this pen than another pen? Understand? Me, I like this pen because after writing, I can erase. If I make any mistake, I can erase. But some people might say, okay, they like big because they are used with big. Understand? So I intentionally buy this pen because anything I write, I can clean it myself after writing it when I'm not okay with it. So that is on the microeconomy. On the macroeconomy part, this one study economy as a whole, that is the country. It study an international level, the economy that happen in the country and international level. It study inflation, unemployment, the GDP, and the likes. Yeah. So we proceed to politics. That's where we meet. That's where I was talking about politics when you ask your question. I'll proceed to the third topic. The third concept. The third concept is international relation. We've talked about economy, we've talked about politics. Now we want to talk about international relation. Because without understanding this definition of these three concepts, you cannot understand the whole course that we are about to discuss. You understand now? So international relation. Understand? What is international relation? So international relation, this is the study of how countries and global actors interact with one another. Understand? This is the study of how countries and global actors interact with one another. So which means that it is not only countries that interact in international political system. Global actors also interact. Understand? In MIAD 807, we talked about actors involved in international politics, right? If you remember. So, which means that it is not only the states that interact in international politics. the non-state actors also interact. That is why in definition of international relation, we say is the study of how countries and global actors interact with one another. Understand? So international relationship deals with three things. It deals with three things. It involves war and peace. How they talk about war and peace. How countries and global actors talk about war and peace. Understand? That's number one. Number two, it's about trade and diplomacy. You understand? How countries, how the global actors set boundaries, sanction laws that guide trade and, and diplomacy in the international political system. Understand? Why the third one is global cooperation. How countries, how global actors cooperate in international political system. That is why you have the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, the International Monetary Fund, and the likes. So this is what international relations studies. You study war and peace, trade and diplomacy, and global cooperation. So since international relations recognize that the world is interdependent, and what happened in one country, in Nigeria or Benin Republic, can affect another country. Understand? So what happened in Benin Republic recently, the coup d'etat that happened in Benin Republic, understand? If we didn't curb it, it can affect Nigeria and Togo that are borders with Benin Republic. So this is what international relations study. The peace, how peace is going to be maintained in the world, how war is going to be curbed, how business is going to be done, trade, and how more diplomatic relation is going to be established among countries, and how global cooperation is going to be. So in short, when you talk about international relation, it is about state and global actor behavior. Understand? And how they relate internationally. The behavior of state and the global actors and how they relate internationally. So this aside, economics, politics, and international relation. This is the core concept in this course we are going to talk about. Understand? Now, the nexus. That is how politics and economic relate. Understand? Maybe you study economics in your undergraduate, you are just wondering how politics and economic relate. Understand? How they are twin discipline. Understand? They relate in three major ways. Understand? Politics and economic are deeply connected, and you cannot understand politics without understanding economics. Likewise, you cannot understand economics without understanding politics. Listen, so politics is something you cannot escape it. So maybe those people doing sciences, there is a way they can escape it, but I don't know. But social sciences, you cannot escape it in social science. Now, why is it that politics and economics are interconnected, are connected? That's three reasons. Understand? Number one, politics decide who gets what, why economists will decide how goods and services are produced and distributed. That is number one, politics is going to decide who gets what in the society. Understand? You're going to decide who get what in the society, who get the resources. Understand? Today, Dangote want to build a refinery, for instance, it's politics that's going to decide if he's going to get the needed land he wants. He might have the money, but without the approval of the government, he cannot get that land to build his refinery. The government has to approve it. Understand? So policy is going to decide who gets what. Why, on the other hand, economists will decide how goods and services are produced and distributed. After Dangote get the refinery, the economist at hand is going to determine what quantity is going to produce and how he's going to distribute it. Yes, so without the government being approving a land to him, that means there is nothing that can be produced or distributed. That's number one. Number two, Politics uses power to make decision. Politics uses power to make decision, while economic uses resources to meet needs. Politics uses power to make decision, while on the other hand, economic uses resources to meet needs. Even after the government make the law, understand? After the government make the law, Enua Ali want to talk. You can talk. Okay, you can talk.
Hi, Abdul. So the question is, you said politics decides who gets a particular resource.
Who gets
And
what?
let's say it's a resource.
Yeah.
Now, who gets who gets what, and how? You said how they just distribute the resources now. So, yes, am I right with that definition?
No. Yeah, I said politics.
Sorry,
Right.
economics decides how it is distributed. Yes.
How goods and services are produced and how it is being distributed.
Okay, so my clarification here is on the matter of VK and that soldier. So, in that particular case now, who decides?
Who decides?
Yes.
Who decide as?
Who? Like if VK should said, okay, this is my land because he's the political head of that state. So okay, now if he says this is my land now, I want to just understand it based on this explanation.
Thank you very much.
Yes, how do we judge that matter? Thank
So
you.
the easiest way to judge that one is before the arrival of Wiki, who assigned the land. Understand? When you buy, let's say you just get your land today. The next thing you go to do it, the next thing you do is you go to the government office to register your land. You hire a lawyer to register your land. You understand?
Okay.
Who make that law that you should register the land?
Okay, it's the government.
The government made a law, yeah. So far as the government has made a law that you must register your land to have rightful ownership of the land. So which means that even before Wike will come in, as the minister of that of FCT, that means they've acquired the land through the authorization of the government. Am I communicating? Yes, which now bring us to politics is going to decide who gets what. It's politics that is deciding that they are the rightful owner of the land before Wike will come in, right? Now, why on the other hand, economy will decide how goods and services are going to be produced. Whether they want to build a house there is the economy that's going to decide. Whether they want to build a field is the economy. The economic, you say the economic is how you use the scarce resources. It can be land, it can be labor, or it can be capital. That capital is finance. Understand? The land is the property. Understand? The labor is people that will work in the property. Yeah. You understand now? So to trace that to your question, you need to ask yourself, who gave the authorization or the rightful ownership of the land to the person fighting for the land? Is it Wike or someone before Wike? If it's someone before Wike, that means this is debatable. Yes. I don't know whether. So let's say let's say they gave it to them before Wike, and Wike want to take it back. It is debatable. Understand now? So you are not. They can say, oh, you are not the one that gave me the land. Let's settle in court. Exactly. Understand now? You cannot take it forcefully from me because you are not the one that gave me the land. So if you want to take it forcefully from me, let's settle it in court then. Understand now? So if you see that they are fighting over it, that the soldiers or the naval officer, they are fighting that they want to maintain that land, is because they have a backup. If the government does not approve the rightful ownership of the land to someone among them, they will not fight over it. They know their right. Do you get me?
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Now, before she asked a question, so I was on number 2. I said politics uses power to make decisions. You understand? So which means if you're in power, if you're into politics and you are in the state of illegitimate power, rather, you will have the power to make decision in the society. But on the other hand, economic is going to use resources to meet needs. No matter the power you have in a society, no matter the decision you make in a society, there must be money that will back it up. There is going to be economics that will back it up. So that is why we say that politics and economy, they work one another. You understand? Why the third one is that policy influences economy policy. Policy influences economy policy, such as taxes, inflation, trade, and the likes. Why economic affect political power and influence. A country that doesn't have money politically is weak. You understand? The same way Tinubu is clamoring that everybody is going to pay tax in 2026. That's the same way. If the government doesn't have money, they are going to be weak. So the policy they make as politicians is going to affect economic policy. So they are increasing the tax to 15% or 20%, which means a policy by a politician is affecting economics. But on the other hand, economy also affects political power and influence. A politician without money or a country without money is automatically weak. You understand? So the link between these two, politics and power. Understand? So when you talk about political decision, so look at political decisions such as the recent one that the president is doing on taxes. Understand? You know that this tax is affecting the economy of the country, the whole country. Understand? You buy a recharge card, you pay tax. You put money in your bank, you pay tax. You withdraw money, you pay tax. They pay you salary, you pay tax. Yes, and so political decision automatically affect economy. Understand? While on the other hand, economic condition, understand? Like inflation, as we have in Nigeria. Today you go to the market, things are high. Tomorrow you go, things are high. So economic condition of a country influence political stability. When there is inflation or unemployment in the country, it influences political stability. Sometimes if the inflation is low, like it's balanced, the country is going to go smoothly. But if inflation is high, people will be complaining. Listen, things you buy in the market last week, the price you get it last week, you are not sure to get it this week at the same price. Listen, which means that economic condition of a country affect political stability. Why I mentioned that political decision also, on the other hand, affect economy. So political decision of Tinubu on taxes is going to affect the economy of the country. But on the other hand, the economic condition of a country like inflation or unemployment is going to affect the political stability. Understand? So this is about politics and how do you call and economy. Understand? So the next thing we'll talk about is philosophy about international political economy. There is 3 core philosophy of international political economy. So we take it one after the other. The number 1 philosophy of international political economy is the Marxist point of view. Marxist is spelled MARXIST. MARXIST. Marxist point of view. Understand? I think we've all heard about Karl Marx. Understand? So the Marxist point of view was propelled by Karl Marx. Karl is a K-A-R-L. Marx is M-A-R-X. Understand? Karl Marx. Understand now? So in the word of Karl Marx, he said, the economy is the foundation and politics is he said, economy is a foundation that politics is built upon. Understand? So according to Karl Marx, he believed that economy is always the foundation that politics is built upon, which means that without you having economy, political stability is going to be strong. Which means you have economy down as a foundation of a country, and then politics is going to build upon it. If a country economically, if a country like Somalia, if a country like Somalia or Eritrea, economically they are poor, you should know that politically they are not going to be strong. There is going to be political instability. That is the point of view of the Marxists. So rich capitalist nations tend to dominate global politics according to them, while the poor nations tend to borrow from the capitalist nation. Listen? So they believe that those people that have money have more power. Countries that have money in international political sphere have power. That is their own belief. So here we are talking about the philosophy in international political economy. That is, when we talk about internationally, how politics and economy is being viewed. Understand? The first one is the Karl Marx point of view, where he says that economic remains the foundation that politics is built upon. And the rich capitalist nation, that is country that have money, that have more resources, understand, tend to dominate global politics. So in the United Nations, some countries are powerful, some countries are not powerful. You should know that it depends on how rich this country is. Understand? In foreign policy, MIAD 803, we talk about something like that also. Understand? We say for you to make influence in international politics, you must have power, and part of the power is economic power. So without the economic power, you are weak in international, in global politics. That's the first philosophy. The second philosophy is the liberal point of view or viewpoint. Liberal is Liberal, liberal point of view. And the liberal thinkers, they believe that economics and politics can be separated. Understand? They, on the other hand, believe that economic and politics can be separated. They argue that the economic work best without minimal government interference. Understand? The liberal, they say that politics and economy, we should not mix them together. We should leave politics, we should leave economics one side. Because economic is going to prosper, is going to move forward when there is no government interference. Understand now? So that is why we have the concept of laissez-faire. For those people that did the quiz, you will see it in the quiz. Laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is Laissez, laissez, and hyphen, faire is Faie. Laissez-faire means government should not interfere in economic matter. This is the belief of the liberal. You remember that the Marxists said that politics, economic should be the foundation that politics is laid upon. But the liberal, on the other hand, say no. Politics and economy, they should be separated. We should not mix the two together. Understand now? So, example now. So, you see, we have free, free trade zone. I think you know the free trade zone. Do you know free trade zone? Do you know free trade zone? Nobody knows free trade zone. We have one popular organization in Africa on free trade zone. Nobody here know it.
ECOWAS.
No, not ECOWAS.
It provides this free trade zone.
Not even that. Yeah, what?
After. That's African Continental Free Trade Area.
Yeah, African Continental Free Trade Area. So they mostly regulate the free the free trade zone area, understand, in most African countries. You understand? So to them, it is believed that government should not interfere in economic matter. Understand? So that means that the liberal point of view go against what the Marxist point of view are saying, right? But the third philosophy in international political economic is the modern view. Understand now? So today, most scholars today, they believe that politics and economic are interdependent. That's the modern point of view. They believe that politics and economy are interdependent. And that is to say, there is two things we need to consider when you talk about politics and international political economy. Number one, politics set the rule for economy. You understand? That is, politics will always set the rule that economic is going to use to prosper. You understand? Why number two is that economic performance affect political power and stability. Which means if economic is poor, there is going to be a problem when you talk about political power and political stability. Understand now? So the interconnection of politics and power form the foundation of. Emmanuel said, please go over again. So I was trying to explain the modern view. You know, we talk about the Marxist point of view. We talk about the liberal point of view. Now we are talking about the modern point of view. That is a philosophy, right? So I say that the modern point of view is currently in our own era. Understand that? That 21st century. So it is believed that politics and economy interdependent. That is, they depend on each other. I'm sorry, I'm working, but I just started earlier. I will finish work by 6 p.m. UK time. So when it's 7 p.m. Nigeria, let me know so I can sign out. I'm just looking at the time so I can sign out. So they believe that the modern point of view believe that politics and economy are interdependent. They connect, they depend on each other. To them, their belief is that politics set the rule for economy. Understand? That is, politicians, they will set the rule for economy to prosper or for the economy to exist. But on the other hand, also, economics performance affect political power and stability, which means a good economy going to give us good, powerful nation or good political stability. But when the economy is weak, it's going to affect the power and also political stability. So the interconnectedness of this, politics and economy, form what we know as political economy. There is a concept we know as political economy. You understand? So political economy, on the other hand, this one is study how politics and economic influence each other. You understand? So which means politics influence economy also influence politics. Understand? Mr. Emmanuel, did you get it?
Yes, I do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, application of all these things, understand? Application in international relations. So we've talked about politics, we talk about economy. Now, the application in international relations. In global affairs, especially in political and economic affairs, these two concepts overlaps. Understand? So either in AU, in ECOWAS, or in UN, there is a segment where politics and economic will meet each other. And that is why we talk about the application in international relations. How do you apply? How is politics and economy applied in international relations? The number one is trade war. Trade war. Trade war. You see, there is a trade war between the United States of America and China. This is where you will know that politics and economy, they are connected in this, according to the modern point of view. They are connected. There is no way you will do. Yes, sir. Now, the decision Donald Trump will make is going to affect the economic all the economic transaction between China and USA. You understand? So in trade war, countries often do what we call the trade war. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria president trying to protect Buhari, trying to protect Nigerian farmers by closing the borders. You understand? So you should know that the decision the government make also affects economic. Understand? So trade war, on the other hand, is known as economic action driven by political motive. Understand? Economic action driven by political motive. So when a government make a decision that looks like a war economically, you should know that it is driven by political motive, either to protect the national interest of the country or to protect a certain sector in the country. Number two, sanction. Economic in international relation, politics and economic meet at a sanction level also. Understand? So sanction, on the other hand, is known as a political tool with economic consequences. You understand? If a country violates an international law, there is going to be sanction. Today, ECOWAS is not transacting with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, right? They are not transacting with them because they are not member of ECOWAS again. They form their own organization. So they have sanction. The sanction deals with only, it doesn't deal with political sanction, but it also deals with economic sanction. That is, they will not do business with this country again. ECOWAS member state country. They will not do business with them. You can do a business on a neutral ground, but not on the ECOWAS level. So sanction also is there. On the other hand, we have the aid and loan. That is, in international relation, politics and economy also meet at the junction of aid and loan. Understand now? So it's because aid and loan is an economic tool, is an economic tool for political influence, which means that as we have rich country and we have poor country, right? The rich one are going to use aid and loan to control the poor one. When I say aid, it's AIDS, aid and loans. Understand now? So if you see the poor country go and borrow money in another country, you should know that they are going to make you like a servant. Let me just put it like that to them. Understand now? They are going to find a way to control you after giving you the loan, after giving you the money, because you will not get the money you need without condition. You understand now? So they give you the money, they give you the aid with some conditions. You understand now? Why number four, where when politics and economy meet internationally, is a global institution. So the likes of IMF. So in IMF, they talk about economics, but they are set up by governmental states. Let me just put it like that. They are set up by states. So now different governments set up the IMF, the World Trade Organization, the World Bank. Understand now? They combine both politics and economy. You want to work in World Bank, you want to work in IMF, you want to work in World Trade Organization, you don't want to do politics. How? How come? There is no way you escape politics. Understand? If you want to work in this organization, although you talk about money and economy, but you still talk about politics because government of each country are involved. Understand now? So international political economy studies how money, power, and decision making interact globally. Understand? International political economy studies how money, power, and decision making they interact globally. Understand? So this is about the concept of international, how do you call it, political economy or international economic relation. So without even understanding these things, you cannot understand the concept to the fullest. You need to understand this first concept. Am I communicating? Ask your question. If you have any question before we proceed, please. Question. Can we proceed? If you don't have question, that means you understand. If you don't understand, ask question. That's why we are here. We are here to learn. Okay, we'll proceed. Let's proceed. Theories of international political economy. Theories of international political economy. Theories of international political economy. We have 3 theories of international political economy. Understand? The number 1 theory is called the dual economy theory. Dual, that is D-U-A-L. So dual economy theory. So the dual economic theory, this belief that every country has 2 parts. It believes that every country has 2 parts. Understand? And these 2 parts are the modern sectors and the traditional sectors. So according to the dual economic theory, it believes that every country has 2 parts, which is the modern sectors and the traditional sector. And when you talk about the modern sectors, you talk about the industrial, the rich, and the developed sectors. There are some places in Nigeria, you enter there, you will not believe that you are still in Nigeria. This is the modern sectors of Nigeria, the industrial sector of Nigeria. Even in Lagos, there are some places you enter in Lagos, you will not believe that you are still in Nigeria. You understand that? So this is the belief of the dual economic theory. The belief that every country is divided into 2 parts. The modern sectors and the traditional sector. Why the traditional sector is the agricultural, the poor, or the underdeveloped sector. You understand? So there are some places you will enter, even in UK. Let me just say, in UK, there are some places in UK. If you get there, you just think that you are still in Africa because it is not that developed to UK standard level. You understand? So you have the modern sector and the traditional sector. Understand? So to them, they believe that development happen when the traditional sector become modern. Understand? According to the dual economic theory, to them, they believe that even though we have 2 sectors in a country, but for a country to develop, let's check the traditional sector. If the traditional sector is developed to modern, that means that country is developed. Understand now? That is why you see countries moving, they move from subsistence farming to modern farming. You get that? So instead of using cutlass and cutlass to be farming, people have turned to tractor. They've turned to machine. That means they are developing. Even though you will still have the traditional sector, but that traditional sector is going to be modernized. I have 7 minutes left. It's going to be modernized. Now, the second sector we have is called the modern world system theory. Sorry, the second theory we have, the modern world system theory. The modern world system theory. So according to them, the modern world system theory, according to them, they said that the world is one capitalist system, but being a one capitalist system, it is now divided into 2. Understand? To them, they believe the world is a capitalist system that is divided into 2. Understand? Number 1, the core. Understand? Core. Core is a C-O-R. Why number 2 is a periphery. Periphery, like P-E-R-I-P-H-E-R-Y. Understand now? According to them, the world is a
professional license for harassing one of your
please
patients.
mute yourself.
What would be worse? Me lose my professional license or you, your family?
iPhone. I know it's our. So, Paul to them is that the modern world the modern world system theory, let me, at least I just want to sign out, so I'll just off my camera. So according to the modern world system theory, they believe that the world is one capitalist system that is divided into two. Understand? The number one is core, which is CORE. Understand? Another name for core to them is rich countries. Understand? Rich countries. Rich countries. Rich countries. To them, the rich country control technology, trade, and capital. The rich country, they control technology, trade, and capital. Understand? Why, on the other hand, we have the periphery, which I say PERIPHERY. So the periphery are the poor country. They are the poor country. So the periphery are the poor country. They, on the other hand, they supply raw material and cheap labor. Understand? They supply raw material and cheap labor. But the core, on the other hand, they are the one that control technology, trade, and capital. Understand? So which means that even for the rich country to survive, there must be poor country. Because the poor countries, they have the resources, they have the raw material, but they don't know how to utilize it. Nigeria have crude oil, right? But we don't know how to utilize the crude oil. That is why we take it outside to refine it and then they sell it back to us, bring it in. You understand now? So it is believed that the rich country exploit monkey. Okay, monkey they work. Thank you very much. Somebody put in the comment section that monkey they work, babu they chop. That is it. You understand now? So I'm coming. Awa Waziri, I'm coming, please. I just want to say something before I forget. So it is believed that the rich country exploits the poor country. Understand? Through trade and finance. Understand? They ask you to give them raw products, they manufacture it, and they sell it back to you at an expensive price. That is why the gap between the rich nations and the poor nation continue. The gap between those people, those countries that are rich and those countries that are poor is going to continue till eternity. Listen now, because the rich country, if they give you finance today, it comes with condition. That condition is going to make you poor. Yes, and so this is it. Now, I want to say something. Where is she? I think she is. Okay.
So in terms of your analysis for Nigeria with the crude oil, are we termed as rich countries or the poor country?
We are
Since
poor.
We are the one with the raw materials.
We are periphery. We are poor country.
Very poor country.
Poor country. Because we supply the raw material. Son, do you know the fight between Dangote and what is this man? This month. What is his name? Engineer. What?
Some people.
No, the fight between Dangote and one engineer.
Farouk.
Engineer Farouk.
Yeah.
Do you know the fight between them? Listen, if you analyze the fight between Engineer Farouk and Dangote, you will know that Engineer Farouk is fighting for his people, and his people are not in Nigeria. They are not in Nigeria. He wants us to take all our crude oil to outside Nigeria and refine it. As if you are refining it in outside Nigeria, he get more share. So he's trying to put sand in the food of Dangote. You understand? So to Dangote believe that there is no way we will be taking our crude oil outside Nigeria, that these people will not be exploiting us. You understand? So even as they are exploiting us, some Nigerians are making money out of it too. That doesn't disturb them. Understand? Some Nigerians are making money out of it. So it's not a problem to them, but to concern Nigerian, it is unfair to all Nigerians. Understand? So This is a belief about the modern world system theory. While the third theory is the hegemony stability theory. Hegemony. This distinction. Sorry, I just need to sign that I'm working, so I just need to sign that. Okay, good. I've signed it. So hegemonic. Hegemonic is a HEGEMONIC. Hegemonic stability theory. So to the hegemonic stability theory, they believe that the world we have is going to be stable if we have one dominant power. Understand? The world is going to be stable if we have one dominant power leading the whole world. Understand? Is it possible for one country to be leading the whole world? It's not possible, right? So it is not believed that one dominant country is going to be called the hegemon. Understand now? That's why the name hegemonic is coming. Hegemon. So hegemon, these powerful countries, country is going to enforce law, promote free trade, and maintain order. That is why you see that USA is trying to poke nose in all country matter, because USA want to maintain a position of a dominant power in the world. Understand now? So in the 19th century, it was how do you call it? In the 19th century, it was the Britain that was the hegemon. They were leading, they were maintaining order. But after the Second World War, the USA took power over it. So up till now, USA is trying to maintain that how do you call it? That supremacy, like a dominant power in the global political affairs. You understand? Question
Are
about
they
the
really,
theories. What?
are they really with the power now?
They are not with the power at 100% because of globalization. You understand? Because of globalization, they are not with the power at 100% because you see, when we talk about military power, we have the likes of Russia, Israel, North Korea, China, that they are militarily they are okay. Understand? So the USA cannot be saying that militarily they are super above these people. When you talk about economic, you see the likes of China, the likes of Japan, Vietnam, even Bangladesh, that small Asia country, Bangladesh. Even when you talk about them, they also have the money because they make the fabrics. Most of the clothes you see in most of the designers, they are making that in those kind of countries. So they have the manufacturing power. So we cannot say the USA is an hegemon in this century, but they have a global stake. Understand that? So you cannot put them aside too. You understand? You cannot put the USA aside. So if USA have to intervene in Nigerian matter, you should know that at a certain level they influence Nigerian foreign policy. Understand? Now, another question on this one before we proceed, or can we proceed? Okay, I think we can proceed. Now, for global power structure, how power is being structured internationally. How power is being structured internationally. There are some main area where power is being centralized or structured when talk about international politics. You understand? So number one is security power structure. Security structure. Security. You know, when you talk about security, you talk about military and defense. So, which means that countries that have that power, military power and defense power, you should know that this kind of country, they have a larger stake in international political affairs. Yes, on security structure. Countries that have more military and security defense tend to override the poor one, or country that doesn't have strong military and military defense. Listen, number two, production structure. Production structure. Listen, production structure. This is about the power of who produce what and who benefit. Listen, who produce what and who benefit. In the world, who produces our home appliances? Most of the things in your house, just look at it. Who produce this? Are they Nigerians? If you check your house, you can see that more than 50% of what is in your house are produced by people that are not Nigerians. You should know that Nigerians are having problem. You understand? So in terms of production power, so when a country has good production power, they also have influences in international political affairs. You see, China have the labor market. They have the production power, and they require how do you call people to do it because of their population. And so now, so the production power, the production structure is the second structure in the global political affairs. You understand now? Why the third one is the financial structure or finance structure. We are talking about the four global power structure in international affairs or international political system. So financial structure, which means that countries with finance, more money, you understand now, control global money and banking system. Understand? Countries that have money, they control the global money and the banking system. They tend to borrow the poor country money and then exploit them at the end. Because when they borrow you money, it comes with conditions. And so it comes with conditions. I know in Ivory Coast, they are currently building, how do you call it, toll gates in Ivory Coast. So it's France that is building it for them. So although it is free, according to them, it is free, but France is going to be having some quota in all the money the citizen pays per day. So if 100 people pay money through the toll gate, they pay money. The France will have a quota from it for many years, maybe 20 or 30 years. The same thing applicable to Nigeria. They are building railway for Nigeria. China is building railway for Nigeria. So you see the railway Lagos to Kaduna, Kaduna to Abuja and the likes. All this railway they are building. Nigeria might not even pay any money to them. But the condition they will give Nigeria, maybe our children, maybe if our children are in the university, they will still be paying that debt. Yes, and now. So the country that are they control the finance and the global money also influence the international global system. While the number 4 is knowledge structure. The knowledge structure. Knowledge structure. Knowledge structure derives its power from education and technology. Understand now? So how countries manage their education and technology. Listen now. Why do people prefer to leave Nigeria to go and study abroad? Listen. So some countries, when they do how do you call classification of countries, like of universities, best university in the world. No, I don't think there's one university in Nigeria that will fall among 1 to 10. You understand? So economic knowledge structure also depends. So countries that manage to put themselves, someone said Nigeria is far behind. So maybe Nigeria can be among 100 to 1 to 100. Nigeria can be among 1 to 100, but 1 to 10 is going to be difficult. Because 1 to 10, you're talking about the Oxford, you're talking about the Harvard and the likes. Understand? So, but Nigerian university level is far behind this stage. So the knowledge structure is very important. So depending on the level of education, so when they look at the knowledge structure, they tend to look at also the level of illiteracy and literacy in the country. You all know level of illiteracy in Nigeria is high. A lot of people, they claim to be literate, but they are illiterate. So, and the knowledge structure is going to help also in terms of technology. See, most of our team, we manufacture outside. I think before toothpicks, that the toothpick after eating the toothpick, I think before we import it before, until Buhari said they should stop importing it, and some people started manufacturing it in Nigeria. You understand now? So this is about four global power structure in the political system, the global political system. Question before I proceed.
I
Question
want
before.
to ask if there is any country that is tagged the richest in the world.
That is
The richest in the world according to the financial structure.
richest country in the world. Let me tell you something. In the global power structure, we cannot even classify one country as being the richest. As in, you can be rich depending on your aid power or depending on your GDP. In Africa, Nigeria is rich according to our GDP, right? But why do we borrow money? You understand? Even the rich countries, they borrow money from IMF. You understand? The rich countries also, they borrow money from IMF, but the level they borrow money is different from the level we borrow money. The condition they give them is different from the condition they gave us. The condition they give Nigeria is different from the condition they will give USA or they will give another country. So if you check online now, you will see that USA they are in debt. Nigeria is in debt too, but USA also is in debt. But the condition they give USA to give them loan is different from the condition they give Nigeria. Yes, and so there is no single country you can classify as the richest if you want to look at the global structural level. Yes, and but if you want to classify on how much they pay as per minimum wage, you can see some countries that are rich per minimum wage. You know, Nigeria minimum wage is 70,000 per month, right?
Yes.
So 70,000 per month is the minimum wage in Nigeria per month. But in the UK, our minimum wage in the UK is 12.45 per hour. That's 28,000, let's say 29,000 per hour. So which means if I have to work like 4 hours, I've gotten someone's minimum wage in Nigeria. So in terms of minimum wage, you can now classify which country is rich, because country like Luxembourg, I think Luxembourg, they have one of the highest minimum wage in the world. Yeah. So, but on the global power structure, you cannot say one country is richer than the whole world. So this is it. Okay. Now, any other question? How many minutes have we used now? I think we've used 1 hour, right? So we are done with module 1. Now we are done with the module 1. So I tried to brief it. So the module 1, on the other hand, it was talking to us about how we need to understand the concept of politics, the concept of economy and international relation, and the theories and philosophy of international economic and international politics. So this is module 1. On the other hand, module 2, which is what I want to take about, the module 2 talks about why country trades. And so now it talks about why countries do business together. And so I also talks about theories in global international trade pattern. In terms of business, what are the theory that goes in terms of business? You know, we talk about theories that go in international political economy. But now we want to talk about international or global trade, theories that go along with it, and also why country trade, why country do business together. Now, let's take it one after the other now. Why country trades? Please, sorry to bring you back. Can you list out the global structure you mentioned previously? Okay. Somebody is asking that one in the comment section. Can anyone list that one for us? The question is, she said, please, sorry to bring you back. Can you list out the global structures you mentioned previously? Can anyone list it for us, please?
Security structure 1.
Okay, security structure.
Yes. Then the production structure.
Production structure.
Financial structure.
Financial structure.
And the knowledge structure.
The knowledge structure. Did you get it? Did you
Yes,
get
thank you. Yes,
your
thank you.
Any other question before we proceed? Okay, no question. Now, why do country trade? Why do country do business together? Why do country trade? Country trade for 5 major reasons. That is, you see country doing business together. It is for 5 major reasons. Number 1 reason, no country can produce everything it needs. Because each nation lacks some resources. No country can produce everything it needs. And this is because some country, as like nation lack some things. You understand that? Nigeria, as we say, Nigeria has a fertile land. We can produce rice, we can produce everything, but there are some things we are lacking. That is why you see that we are importing cars. You understand? That is why you see that they are taking our crude oil to outside Nigeria to go and refine it. You understand? So even no matter your production power, there is going to be something that you lack. That is, you cannot produce everything on your own. That is number 1. Number 2, trade make goods cheaper. Trades make goods cheaper. So instead of you to produce everything locally, instead of a country to produce everything locally, which is often going to be at an higher cost, country prefer to import cheaper alternative. So instead of you to produce it locally, that's going to be expensive, country prefer to import it at a cheaper rate. That is why you see many African countries importing cars from Europe, because it is cheap to import car from Europe. In UK, for instance, now I can get a car of £1,500, which is approximately 3 million. If I import it to Nigeria, it can be maybe with 1 million, the likes, let's say 1.5 million, which means with 4.5, I can have a good car in Nigeria from the UK. So instead of me to buy it, instead of Nigeria to manufacture it, it is preferable to import it from Europe. And so although we have some people in Nigeria that manufacture cars, like I don't know the name. He's an Igbo man like this. Very good.
Innocent Motors.
Innocent Motor. You understand? So Innocent Motors, he manufacture cars in Nigeria, but does that stop people from buying car from abroad? It doesn't stop people from buying car from abroad. Somebody said that's a good business. Emmanuel is taking our business. He said that's a good business. So does that stop people from buying car from abroad? No, because it is cheaper bringing car from abroad than buying it in Nigeria, buying it from a Nigerian manufacturer. So people that buy car from Nigerian manufacturer, they are doing it because of made in Nigeria, like patronizing Nigerian, not because it is cheaper. You understand that? So trading good or buying good from another country, it make business trade cheaper. Understand? Number 3, trade give access to new technology. Trade give access to new technology. Understand? So country import technology to improve productivity. Look at smartphone. Understand? Manufacture in Asia. Understand? Like China and South Korea, and then it's all over the world. Understand? It's all over the world. So these are technology that we can manufacture in our country. But because we can't manufacture in our country like Nigeria, that is why we import it. So which means that Nigeria transacting with another country make technology to exist in Nigeria. You get? So if we now say that we don't want to take phone from another country and we are not manufacturing it ourselves, that means Nigeria will not have mobile phone, smartphone, will not have TV, will not have radio. We'll just be living as people in Europe think. Because some people think in Europe that Africa, like, we are living in the bush, we are living with animal, tigers, and some people believe. You don't believe that we have TV and the likes. So the trade give access to new technology. Understand? Number 4, countries in the world specialize in what they can produce. Understand now? What they can produce best. Understand? Let me put the best there. What they can produce best. Understand now? This is because this increase efficiencies. Which means that, look at Saudi Arabia, for instance, now. Saudi Arabia, aside from the religious part, they can produce oil, right? Japan, on the other hand, they can produce automobiles, cars. Understand? But look at Kenya as a country. Kenya focuses on tea. It is believed that in Africa, Kenya has the best tea in Africa. Understand? So you focus on what you know you can produce best. Don't do, you will do this, you do this, you do this. At the end of it, you will not do anything. So you focus on what country focuses on what they can produce best. Understand? Number 5, trade creates economic growth and jobs. Nigerian court, it is asking Nigerian court. Me, I'm not Nigeria. If you ask Ivory Coast produce cocoa. They are the largest producer of cocoa in Africa. But I don't know Nigeria. What does Nigeria produce? Is it crude oil? Crude oil that is manufactured outside. Nigeria is oil. Emmanuel is saying Nigeria is oil, that Nigeria produces oil. Yeah? Let's say we produce oil, but not at a satisfactory level until we can refine it internally, like the one Dangote is doing. So if we can do it, if the federal government can also do it himself without taking oil outside, Nigeria will be better. Corruption. Caleb is saying corruption. Yeah, corruption. So we cannot manufacture, we cannot refine it internally. So that's why you see that the fight between, go and read about the fight between Engineer Farouk and Dangote, you understand. Corruption is there. Understand? So now I was talking about trade creates economic growth and job. Understand? So export industry creates employment. Understand? Let's say as we are importing and exporting. Understand now? As we are importing and exporting, some people get job. As you are in Nigeria, you can order things from the UK and they transfer to you in Nigeria, right? That means growth is going, business, you are doing business. Like money is being moving from UK and Nigeria. And at the same time, job also is being created. The people that will carry from UK to Nigeria to you create, that's the job. You sending money. That means your money you are sending to that country, growth is going to occur in the country. Even if it's £100 they are sending, 100,000 naira or 150,000 naira, that also is increasing the economy of that country. You understand now? So let's look at China, for instance. China rise in the world because they move from importing things to exporting things. You understand now? So you see China grow up line. The growth of China in the world economic affairs is because they export more things outside than importing things inside. Understand now? So the trade, except when you are exporting things outside, that means that you have people that are ready to work. Employment is being created. But once you export things outside, that means money is coming into your country. There is growth and there is employment. Understand now? So let's say China is manufacturing everything now and they are not taking it outside. That means even after the manufacture, they are not taking it outside. Money is going to come into the country. Listen, because you need money from outside also to develop your country, not internal money. Listen, so that's it. So these are the 5 reasons why countries do business together. Listen, why business country trade. Now, We won't talk about theories. I said we'll talk about theories in international global trade or global trade. Understand? We'll talk about three theories: classic and modern theory of international trade, classical and modern theory of international trade, classical and modern theory of international trade. We have three major theories. Understand? We have the absolute advantage theory, we have the comparative advantage theory, and we have the Echet-Olin theory. I will spell it. I don't know whether I pronounce it well, but I will spell it. Now, we want to talk about the classic and modern theories in international trade. It's one of the questions that are common in the exam. Listen. Now, absolute advantage theory. Absolute advantage theory. The absolute advantage theory was propelled by Adam Smith. Adam Smith. That means the father of that theory is Adam Smith. So, according to the absolute advantage theory, they believe that a country should produce goods it can make efficiently than others, which means that something you know as a country that you can do more better than another country, that is what you should produce. Don't produce something that another country can do also. Even if another country can do, make sure that you can do it at more best than another country. You understand? I mentioned that Kenya has the best tea, right? Brazil has the best coffee. Understand? That means Brazil is at actually advantage in manufacturing coffee than manufacturing automobile. So what you know you can produce more best, you should focus on that. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, crude oil. China, they manufacture, cheap, finished goods. Cheap finished goods, understand now? So because they have the labor force, they have the population that can manufacture cheap things. You understand? So to them, Bangladesh is textile. Yeah, all their clothes we wear, most of the clothes you see, most of the designer they did it in Bangladesh, but they will just put Nike, they will put Adidas and the likes. You understand? So this absolute advantage is telling that you should focus on things you know you can produce best. You understand? But on the other hand, the comparative advantage theory. Understand? The comparative advantage theory. This was propelled by David Ricardo. Comparative advantage was propelled by David Ricardo. This is the most important theory in international trade. Understand? It's the most important theory in international trade. So, because their own belief is that even if a country is good at producing everything, when a country is good, even if it's good at producing everything, it should still specialize in goods where it has the lowest opportunity cost. Yeah. So even if a country is good at producing everything, the country should focus or should specialize in goods where it has the lowest opportunity cost. This one is tell us what a country should specialize in. Understand now? What a country should specialize in to benefit from trade. A country can do everything, but it's telling us that just specialize on one thing, that if you specialize on it, you can benefit on trade. This means that a country should produce what it can make more cheaply. Just make something you can make cheaply and efficiently. Listen, even if you can make everything in the world, just focus on things you can do cheaply so that people will buy easily. Understand? let me take an example. Let's take Nigeria. Nigeria as a country. We have the oil sector and we have the manufacturing sector. Understand? We know Nigerian can produce many things. We can produce oil, we can produce plastic, rice, cars in small countries. Let me put it like that. But Nigerian produces oil far more efficiently than manufacturing cars. You get? Because it is believed that if we manufacture car, it's going to be expensive. But if we focus on oil, it's not going to be expensive. So the absolute advantage is telling that even if you can manufacture everything, focus on things that you can manufacture at a cheaper rate. That is going to make the business transaction with other country or your country cheaper, efficient. That's not. So if Nigeria focuses on manufacturing car, you know that we will lose money, we will lose resources, we will also lose time. Understand now? So it is better we manufacture, we produce our oil and we import our cars from abroad. You understand now? As you see, China, they also get things from abroad. You understand now? China as a country, it's not that they produce everything. You understand? They also get things from abroad. I think let me just take iPhone as an example. Where is iPhone manufactured? Who can tell me? Let me start from there. iPhone that we use, where is it manufactured?
China.
China. Where is it designed? Is it China? Is it people will say Nigerian will say, let me just say Nigerian will say any Chinese product are fake. Yes, and Nigerian will say any Chinese product are fake. So you now say that iPhone is manufactured in China. So that means iPhone, Techno, Infinix are from the same family because Techno, Infinix are from China. That's what you are telling us. Huh? Hello, sir. Sir, are you with me? So normally, iPhone as a phone, it is designed in USA, right? It is designed in the USA, but it uses some chips. We have some chips in phone. They get the chips of iPhone from Taiwan. They assemble iPhone in China. Do you get it now? So, which means that even if the USA can say, okay, they want to manufacture it in the USA, but if they manufacture it in the USA, the price is going to be high. So what they do, they do the design in USA, they get the chips from Taiwan, and from China, they manufacture it. So in absolute advantage, you focus on things you can do cheaply. If the US say they will do it themselves, everything themselves, it might be expensive than what you are buying currently. You understand? That is the theory of the absolute advantage, comparative advantage. Comparative advantage. You compare and contrast which one you can do at a cheaper rate. You understand now? Now, why the third theory is the Etched-Olin theory. Let me spell it. It might be somehow. So Etched is HECKSCHER. Etched-Olin theory. Olin is OHLIN theory. That is the HO theory. That H-O, the HO theory. We talk about absolute advantages. We talk about comparative advantage. Now we are on to the HO theory. The
Please
HO
spell the
theory.
H again.
What? What?
Please spell the H again. The H.
HECKSCHER. And Olin, I don't know how you spell it, but Olin is OHLIN. Etched-Olin theory, the HO theorem. this theoretical idea is that country export. And so we have importing and exporting. Understand? Country export goods that use their abundant resources and import goods that require resources they lack. That means that you export, you will push out things that you make in abundance, while you bring in things you lack. Understand? So the theory explains why Nigeria exports oil but import refined petroleum. Understand? Nigeria as a country, we export oil, but we import refined petroleum. Understand now? This is what this theory is saying. You should export resources that you have in abundance. You understand? You should export it out, and then you should import in what you can produce easily. Sorry, you should import in what you lack. Nigeria export crude oil and import refined petroleum. Understand? That is why you see China, you see Germany rather. Germany, they have what we call capital abundance in Germany, understand? So they are capitalists in nature, understand? So say they mostly export all this machinery, all this engineering machinery, understand now? While on the other hand, you see Nigeria, we export our crude oil and we import our petroleum. Understand? So these are the trade theories and theory we discuss about classical and modern theories of international trade.
Sorry, good evening, Abdul. Okay, so this the three theories now. The three theories are classical and modern, or there's a way we can differentiate them.
So, thank you very much. So they are classical and modern because when you analyze them, you see that some countries prefer to use one than the other. So some are still using I can say they are still using the old way, while some still using you can use one and you can use the other. Some use everything, but some just use one. So in the oil sector, for instance, I can say Nigeria, we use the HO theory in the oil sector. But do we use the absolute advantage? Which one is absolute advantage to Nigerian? Which product do we have that is in the absolute advantage to Nigerian? Which one do you produce? Which
it's still oil.
Is it oil? So it's still oil that we have in absolute advantage, but so we don't have anything in Nigeria again. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Human capital. Do Nigeria have human capital?
That's
what?
We have human capital, but
human capital that all our doctors are coming to the UK.
What I know we have very well. They are going to US, to UK, US. So we don't really have them now. All of them are Japan.
16,000 of Nigerian doctors are in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's the latest news for this December. 16,000 of Nigerian doctors are in the UK. So just imagine that all these 16,000 now go back home. Our X sector is going to be good. So human capital in Nigeria is lagging. Now, why trade is important? Why business is important? Why trade among countries is important? Understand? Why trade is important? Number one, trade support economic growth. When there is trade, there is going to be economic growth. Understand? So countries like Vietnam, they became one of the fastest growing country in the world because of they were exporting manufacturing products. Understand now, like phones and electronics. Understand? Even rice, they were exporting it outside. So when there's trade, there is going to be a growth, economic growth in the country. Understand? That's why state trade. Number two, important of why trade. Trade reduce price for consumers. It reduces price for consumer. The reason you see that smartphones are cheaper and affordable nowadays is because they are produced in global value chain. Understand? China produces it, Taiwan produces it, Japan produces it, South Korea, they produce it. So once this country produce it, they sell it out at cheaper rate to countries. In 1999, phones were very, very expensive. Even SIM card that you get it for free now, they were very, very expensive. But nowadays, they are cheaper. Because more countries are making it and they sell it out to other countries. So let's say if it's only one country that is making it, it's going to be monopolistic in nature. That is making things expensive. But because more people, more manufacturing companies are being established, it makes things cheaper for consumers. Understand? Number 3, trade spread technology. That is, when there is trade, countries that lack in technology, they are going to have it. Countries like India and Nigeria, they benefited from imported technology. Understand? When you talk about computer, understand? Medical equipment, machinery, we get it from countries that have it. So we benefited from countries that have it. So without trade, without transaction, we cannot have it because we don't manufacture them. But because of trade, we have it. Understand? Number 4, trade encourages innovation and quality. So when there is competition, understand? When there is competition, companies tend to improve what they do. When you see competition between iPhone and Samsung, you will see that this year iPhone and this year Samsung, there is improvement there. You understand? They are going to think, next year they are going to think how to innovate again on what they will produce. Because they want to make consumer to be satisfied. You understand now? So far as there is competition among producers, there is going to be quality product in the market. The like of Toyota, the like of Honda, and the likes, all these cars, you see that when you want to buy a car, you just look at, oh, this car, I like this, I like this. You do not know what to choose. But based on the quality or what your research is based on, you will make your choice. And so the 5th one is that trade promote peace. The 4th one, okay, please, what is the 4th important? I said trade encourages innovation and quality. That is, when there's too many manufacturers, they are going to compete with each other. I said now, they will make sure they do quality things for the consumers. What the number 5 is, trade promote peace and cooperation. Trade promote peace and cooperation. So countries that depend on each other economically are less likely to fight. If we do business together as country, we will not fight. Understand now? Look at the USA and China. Even though they have what we call the economic fight, but you will never see USA and China shooting bomb at each other because they do business together. Understand now? So despite the economic crisis, they still continue to do business together. Economic crisis, you increase your tax, I also increase my tax. So far as you don't bomb me, I don't bomb you. But if you increase the tax, I increase my tax. You understand that? So countries that do business together, they are less likely to fight. Okay? These are the 5 reasons why trade is important. You can add your own to it, but these are the 5 things I have for you under why trade is important. Understand? Now, we want to move to a concept now. Understand now? The concept is the protectionism or protectionist theory or concept. Protectionism. Protectionism or protectionist. I want to drink water, that's why I'm off in the camera. Protectionism. Protectionism refers to all the way a government tries to protect its local industry from foreign competition. The way a country tries to protect its local industry from foreign competition, which means that the way Buhari tried to close Nigerian border in 2019 is to protect Nigerian local industry. So, which way does Tinubu or any government or Donald Trump or any president put in place to protect local manufacturers? Understand now? That is protectionism. Protectionism, to protect something. But in political economy, we are focusing on how government use its power to protect the local manufacturer or local industry. You understand now? Instead of allowing free trade, that is, free trade means anybody can come to your country to do business. Understand now? So instead of allowing free trade in the country, protectionism put barriers. Understand? Protectionism put barriers. Understand? Around the national economy to prevent or to protect local producers. Because if you allow foreigners to do all sorts of business in the country, the local manufacturers or local producers, they are going to die. Look at Nigerian Kampala or Nigerian lace. Even Chinese are doing it. Understand now? Even the cap, Hausa cap that we do buy from people in the mosque, the Chinese are doing it now. So if we allow them to enter Nigeria to be manufacturing in Nigeria, those people that are doing it locally, they will not exist again, because the foreigners, they have the capacity, they have the resources and the capital to make it more cheaper. That means they will be competing with those local industries. So instead of allowing the local the foreign competitors to enter the country just like that, to be doing things that will be cheaper, that will kill local producers, the government put in barriers. Understand? This is what the protectionism theory is talking about. Understand? So this protectionism is the opposite of free trade. Free trade. So this is the opposite of free trade. Understand? Protectionism is the opposite of free trade. Understand? And it is strongly supported by nationalists. Let me say, nationalists. Let me just put it like that. That is those people that clamor for. Sometimes you are like, made in Nigeria, Nigerian first, made in Nigeria. That is, we must consume Nigeria. Any product like Nigerian product, we must consume it. Understand? So sometimes you're just like that. But if you want to protect Nigerian products, you must find a way to put some limitation so that those foreign competitors will not enter easily and spoil the market. Understand? Some Nigerians today, they prefer to order things from China and sell it in Nigeria than to buy it from the local people in Nigeria, because they believe that if they buy from local people in Nigeria, it's expensive. So it's better they export from China with exportation fee. It's still going to be cheaper. So now imagine that they are no more exporting again. They are buying it from those Chinese in Nigeria. That means that the local businesses are going to die. No. So why government use protectionism? Why government use protectionism? So that is why government finds a way, why government puts some laws to protect local business or local producers. You understand? Number one reason is protect infant industries. Protect infant industries. You see, young industry cannot compete with advanced foreign producers. Understand? Young industry cannot compete with advanced foreign producers. Look at the farmers, the rice producer, for instance, now, when you look at those people making rice in the village, when you go to the village, you look at those people making rice. You will see that they are making it with subsistence equipment. Now they still use the cutlass and the likes to do it. But if you allow foreigners to come, they are going to come with machine to do it as easy. They are going to make it even faster than these local farmers, which means that if they exist, the local farmers, they are not going to sell. You understand now? People buy foreign rice before 50,000. Local rice, you can buy it more than 50,000. You understand? So, to the extent that what they are doing now is that they go and buy bags and they put local rice inside and sell it as, because they were not selling. So, to protect local industries, you have to put barrier, infant industry, rather, industry that are growing up. You need to put barriers. Understand? Number two, reduce unemployment. If imports, like importing of goods and services, if import dominate local factory, understand now? Let's say if infant dominates in a country economy, is going to kill local factory. Understand? That means local factory are going to close down. I'll give an example of India.
Please
India,
come again.
I said reduce unemployment. So, which means that if imports dominate the economy of a country, that is, if we are importing everything, you get it, is going to affect local factory. That is, local factory are going to close down. Local factory are going to close down. You understand now? I'll give an example of India. India has put some restriction on cheap Chinese electronics. That is, all electronics that are cheap, that are from China, they must not enter India. Which means that they are giving access to Indians to also manufacture it instead of them to go and get it cheaper in China. Look at Nigerian frozen food business. Those people that sell turkey. You know that most of the turkey they are selling, they are taking it from abroad. We are not getting it in Nigeria. What is wrong with our farmers that they are here in turkey or chicken? Listen. So, which means the food you are eating, you don't know how they kill them from abroad. The turkey you are eating, you don't know how they kill them from abroad. They bring it from abroad to Nigeria. You eat it, you're enjoying turkey, you're enjoying it alive. Listen. So, most of us, we are eating junk in abroad, self. Listen. You just see, we just fat and you just use 3 months in abroad. Your body don't change, don't fat because of the junks. So, we don't even know what they are putting, but we are eating. Listen. Yeah, even fish. Someone say even fish, common fish that we can get in Nigeria. We import it from outside Nigeria. And so now you don't know what they put to preserve them from outside Nigeria. And so most of them, they come far away from Europe to Nigeria, and they don't come by plane. They come by boat, by ship. So so if you don't give chance for local industry, local farmers to do it, there's going to be a lot of unemployment in the country. So, number 3, national security. Why government use protectionism for national security purpose? Country protect industry that are strategic. Understand? Country protect industry that are strategic. You will notice that there was a time Donald Trump restricted TikTok from USA territory. There was a time it restricted TikTok from USA territory. Although US citizens were angry that why did they restrict TikTok? But you should know that almost all the application we use on our phone, they can spy on us through the application. And they can spy on us. So for security reasons, some country can restrict some product to come into their country. So because you may be in your house and you don't know that your TV is spying on you. The way you are eating with your family, the way you are talking, the way you are sleeping, you don't know the TV is spying on you. To you, you have smart TV. You understand now? So for security reason, countries can ban some product because of security purpose. Listen. Now, another one is protect local culture and identity. Protect local culture and identity. Some country block foreign media content to protect local culture. That is, they block foreign media content to protect local culture. When you look at France, there are some foreign media that cannot pass in France. It's just a way to protect the film industry in France. Today, you see Nigerians dressing like Americans, speaking like Americans, bobbing their hair like Americans. You understand? Because we've allowed the Hollywood industry to penetrate in Nigeria easily, which has affected our local culture and our identity. So some people, they've changed their name instead of you see now the names we are giving to our children in this generation is totally different from the name our father was giving to us in our generation, which is we've let our culture to be influenced. Now we've let our culture to be influenced by these industries, especially Hollywood. Hollywood have a mission. Even Nollywood, Bollywood, and the likes, they have their missions. Now, like me, for instance, now I learned my own Yoruba from Nollywood. I didn't learn it from my parents. I learned it from Nollywood. Now, so which means they have also an impact. So assuming that in Ivory Coast they block Nollywood from entering in Ivory Coast, that means I will not learn Yoruba language. Listen. So now the fifth one, you have it. What am I saying? I've talked about protect the local culture and identity. While the sixth one is raise government revenue. Raise government revenue. So before oil, understand? Many African countries rely on import tariff. Understand? Many African countries rely on import tariff as a major source of government income. Yes and no. So which means that if you want to import something in the country, there is going to be higher tax on you. That is why anything you import from outside Nigeria, you pay tax on it. That tax is making the country rich. If you cannot pay that tax, don't bring your things to Nigeria. Although you want to sell it at a cheaper price, if you not calculate with the tax they put on it, you not calculate. It's better make I buy it in Nigeria now, because with the import duty that you will pay, at the end you will see that it doesn't worth it for you to buy it from abroad. Just buy it locally. So they put that one to discourage people from importing things into the country. So the taxes they put in products is in a way to discourage people from importing things. The import tax is a way to discourage people from importing things into the country. So that if you calculate the import duty and the price you buy things from abroad, you just be discouraged and then buy it locally. So number 6, retaliation. Retaliation. If a country places tariff on you, you respond with tariff. That is the case of China and USA. In foreign policy, what do we call it? In foreign policy, what do we call it?
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Thank you very much. You don't become scholar. You people don't become scholar. For you to be answering this question easily like this, you don't become scholar in this foreign policy affairs. So these are reasons why government plays protectionism on the country, you understand, on some products, you understand. Now, the tools, protectionism as a concept has some tools. That is, some governments have tools When you see these tools, you should know that government is trying to imply protectionism. You understand? The number one tools is tariff. Tariff. Another name for tariff is import tax. Another name for tariff. TARRIF, tariff. Another name for tariff is import tax. Let me drink water, please. Import tax. A tariff is a tax placed on imported goods. Is a tax placed on imported goods. This makes foreign goods expensive so people can buy locally produced goods. You understand? Is a tax placed on imported goods, which means that any goods you import from outside, the tax is going to be high. Sometimes the tax you want to pay is going to be like 1/3 of that price of that goods. You understand? You buy a car from the UK at at 3 million naira. Taking it to Nigeria, you pay a tax of 1.2 or 1.3, which is going to bring the car to like 4 point something. So this one, sometimes it discourages some people of getting it from abroad. Instead, we prefer to get it in Nigeria. Understand now? So tariff, which is the import tax, that's number one tools they use. Number two, quotas. Quotas is the second tools used by protectionism or protectionists. Joy of life, say, okay, the network is not good. Quotas, this limit the quantity of goods that can be imported. Understand? It limits the quantity of goods that can be imported. It limits the quantity of goods that can be imported. For instance, now, some people. It limits the goods that can be imported. Okay? Look at the example of European Union. Look at the example of European Union. European Union has put a quota on sugar. They put a quota on sugar. That is, there is a quantity of sugar that must enter European Union territory from abroad. You understand now? There is a quantity of sugar that must enter European Union territory from abroad. This is because they want to protect local farmers. You understand now? Because if they are importing sugar, I said, from abroad every time, local farmers, they are not going to sell. This is problem with Nigeria. We import fish, we import chicken, we import turkey. Even cow and ram, we take it from Mali and Burkina Faso and Guinea. So we import many. What?
And even from Sudan that are fighting, we import
sheep
from them.
Sudan, even Mauritania, we take it from Mauritania. We take cow from Mauritania also. Yes, and so if we are doing like that, people will even prefer to go and take from this country because they believe that they can get it cheaper there than getting it in Nigeria. So country put quota. Country that are wise, they put quota. That is, there should be a quantity of product that can enter. We are not saying that it should not enter, but there should be a quantity of product that can enter. So now, just to protect local farmers or local industries. So now, number 3, import bans and prohibition. Some people are kicked out because of network. They are sending some message in the group. Let me check on them. Import ban, like the BAN, import bans or prohibition. Import ban or prohibition. That is, complete restriction on certain imports. Understand? That is some product, you restrict those products from coming into the country. You restrict them from coming into the country. You understand now? You restrict some product from coming into the country. There was a time President Muhammadu Buhari stopped foreign rice to stop entering Nigeria. Understand that? He stopped foreign rice from entering Nigeria because he believed that this foreign rice they are killing the business of these local farmers. And that time he now put subsidies on most of the local farmers' products. Understand that? So when you prevent totally a product from entering to your country in order to encourage locally produced product to boom, that is prohibition or import bans. This is another tool of protectionism. Why the number 4 is subsidies. Number 4, subsidies. Subsidies. What is subsidy? What is subsidy? We do here every year. We do here is subsidy. All government in Nigeria. What is subsidies? What is subsidies? What is subsidies? We don't have it.
In
Okay.
layman language, let me say subsidy is the use of, would I say, money now from the government to reduce the cost effect of some goods that are produced locally or imported internationally.
Thank you very much. That are produced locally. That is government giving money to manufacturers, understand, so that they can produce things at a cheaper rate and compete with the foreign competitors. You understand? So government giving money, you see, sometimes government give money to farmers, you understand, so that they can produce things at a cheaper rate and sell out to Nigerians. Yes, and this is also another technique of protectionism. Understand? Why the last one in my list is before last in my list is border closure. Border closure. So some country can decide to close border. You can see Buhari closing border. Understand? So when you close border, you prevent some things to enter your country, your territory. And so you can use that technique also, especially when you are having close border with a country and you don't want the product from that country to enter your own country. So you ask for the closure of border. And why the last one is standard and regulation. Standard and regulation. So you see, standard and regulation is you can use through ECOWAS or through African Union or through EU. They can put some regulation that, okay, like European Union, for instance, now they put some regulation that there are some African agricultural product that must not enter European territory. When you travel to the UK, understand, there are some food you cannot travel with it from Nigeria to UK. You understand now? So for you to travel from Nigeria to the UK, you must pass through some regulation. You must pass through some procedure. You understand? Because they believe if you bring in your food here, you are not going to buy their own locally. You understand? So they put some regulation. But if you want to bring, although we have some African restaurants, some African store, anything you eat in Nigeria, we eat it here. But those people that bring it, they pass through some checkup. They must follow some procedure, some regulation. Yes, and so these are the six way country. This is tools of protectionism, tools a government can use to protect local business. It's already it's already 709, which is 809 in Nigeria. Okay, somebody wants to say something now?
Yes, I have a question, please.
Okay.
So what's the difference between import ban and border closure.
Import ban is you've already made the law. Understand? You've made a law to restrict them from bringing it to the country.
Okay.
For instance, there was a time Nigeria stopped, they banned toothpick from coming to the country. So which means that you are manufacturing toothpick from outside Nigeria. You already know that Nigeria is not your market again because the government has banned it. If they catch you, they can burn it. Understand? Or you can pay fine, right?
Mm.
Now, border closure. Border closure most often work with land borders. You understand now? Land border, let's say, we are not talking about terrestrial border now. You are talking about land border in here now. So it often work with land borders. How you protect your goods via land, via land borders. Understand? The import restriction is a signal sent directly to the how do you go to these people, to your manufacturer, external manufacturer. Is a signal that you send that we don't want you, anything you produce that we don't want in our country, do not put Nigeria or our country in your market list. Understand? But if you decide that you don't want them to put it in your market list, they can come through land border. You understand now? They can come through land border. They will not pass through the normal seaport that everybody know. They will not pass through that normal seaport. They will pass through that land border. Because we have some porous land border, right? So far as you have some porous land border, you pass through those land border and enter your country.
Yeah.
So you close the land border to prevent them to enter.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. Question. I thought we would stop at 8 and we take past question for 30 minutes. Nigeria is playing match today. Last time we didn't watch Nigerian match, so this time we should watch Nigerian match. The next topic I want to talk about is globalization. But I want us to how do you call to three pass question. Should we do globalization or three pass question for 30 minutes? Which one should we do?
Let's do past question.
Past questions, yes.
Thank you very much. Let me look at questions here. Bring out the past question. MIAD 809. Yeah. Past question. I'm looking for the question. Just bear with me, please. I don't know where I put this question. I'm sorry. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
No, not yet.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can see the screen now.
Look at this first question you're seeing. Which of these questions talks about what we discussed this night?
Number 1.
Okay. What's number 1 saying?
Explain the following concepts: international political economy, international politics, international political system.
Okay, that's the first thing we discussed. So in the past question and answer I sent you, you will see it. I explained it.
Number 2 also, right?
Number 2 is says
Theories.
theories and trade.
No, theories that account for the emergence and functions of the international political economy.
Okay. You have the past question and answer I sent you, all right, before you join the group. So if you check the past question and answer there, you will see I extensively explain it there. So if you don't print it, you can print it just for your purpose to read it out. Look at number 3 also.
Yeah, but this was narrowed down to Nigeria.
Yeah. They said, suggest how Nigeria can derive maximum benefit, how we can derive maximum benefit from trade with other countries. How we can derive benefit from trade. So
what number is that, please? Sorry.
Number 3. Let me make this screen bigger. Number 3. Look at that number 3.
Yes, I've seen it. Okay.
Number 3, yes.
Yes.
That number 4 is what I'm supposed to do globalization, but because we are talking. So these are how questions are set. So you should be able to answer some of them. You understand? Even without reading extensively, you should be able to answer some of them. Now let's move there now. We'll treat some of them, but I just want us to look at it before we treat them. Look at them. Which number? Please mute your mic, please. Pity me, please.
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Political economy, microeconomics, and mercantilist. I didn't talk about mercantilist, but before the end of our class, I think I'll talk about it. Okay. What about which one again? Number 2.
Number 2.
What's the question number 2 saying?
With relevant examples, discuss for importance of international trade to countries.
Discuss importance of international trade to countries. We've talked about that one. Okay. Look at number 4. Look at number 4.
Using your understanding of the 4 global power structures, explain the. Can you zoom in back?
I'm coming. Let me slide my screen. Let me slide my screen. I'm using phone, so I don't know whether you can see.
Yeah, you can see now.
Which question are we? Yeah. Yeah,
question number 4.
Okay.
Using your understanding of the 4 global power structures, explain the assertion that those who control international politics control international economy.
So you can explain the 4 global power structure, and then based on your explanation, you should be able to. What are the 4 global power structure?
Is it WTO?
No.
Security.
Is it
security? Thank you very much. Security.
Financial.
Education.
What?
Education.
Production, knowledge, financial.
No. Can someone just list it? Can someone just list it, please?
Security structure.
Okay.
Production structure.
Okay.
Financial structure.
Okay.
Financial structure.
Knowledge structure.
Thank you very much. So now they're not asking that you should explain this in the point that those people that control international policy also control international economy. You understand now? Now, look at this question now. Number one.
Discuss the three contemporary theories that account for the successful sustenance of international political and economic relations.
Okay. Okay, look at number 5. Did you see number 5?
Discuss any two central arguments of trade protectionism and two what?
Two reasons why government imposes trade protection.
Okay. So, I want us to treat one of the question, but we'll treat it before I stop. International political economy, international politics, and international political system. So let me stop this screen sharing. I want us to treat one question. It's going to be our last question we will treat. Can you see my screen? I've stopped sharing. I've stopped sharing, right?
Yes.
Now, let's take political economy. That's one of the common questions. So you should explain political economy. So political economy, this refers to the study of interaction between political authority. Political economy, this refers to the study of the interaction between political authority and economic process within the society. Political economy refers to the study of the interaction between political authority and economic processes within the society. It examines how power, institutions, and governance structure influence production, distribution, and allocation of resources. It examines how power, institution, and governance structures influence the production, distribution, and allocation of resources. Which means that when you talk about political economy, it talks about how politics and economic interact, and it focuses on how power, institution, and government structure influencing the production, the distribution, and allocation of resources, the allocation of scarce resources in the society. You understand now? So in international relation, political economy explain how state use economic instruments such as trade. Let me move this person. Please.
No,
Fatima Hassan, please. Okay. So we are trying to explain. We said in international relation, political economy explain how states use economic instruments such as trade policy, monetary policy, sanction to pursue political objectives. It explains how the state uses economic instruments to pursue political objectives. Now, on the other hand, we have the second topic, the second concept that is common in the exam is international political economy, IPE. International political economy. Please give me 2 minutes. My boy is crying. 2 minutes, please. I just want to pick him. You just wait up 2 minutes. I'm coming, please. What is it? Sorry, Tom. Sorry. Let me just make up, right? Let me just give you this. Take. I'm sorry, yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I'm back now. Easy. So, I was explaining international political economy. So, easy. Small. Okay, good. So, international political economy, on the other hand, I'm distracted. Is a branch of international relations that examine the mutual interaction between polities and economic at a global level. So, international political economy is a branch of international relations.
Fast.
I'm fast, right? Let me go slow. International political economy is a branch of international relations that examine the mutual interaction. Small. That examine the mutual interaction between politics and economics at the global level. Did you get it? I should repeat it. Small. Did you get it? Or I should repeat it.
I got it.
Thank you.
Please repeat.
Thank you. So, international political economy is a branch of international relations that examine the mutual interaction between politics and economics at the global level. It focuses on how power and wealth shape international trade, finance, production, and development. It focuses on how power and wealth shape international trade, finance, production, and development. It emphasizes that economic relations are governed by political rule. Small, yeah? Did you get that one, or I should repeat it?
Okay. Repeat it, please.
So I said, let me just repeat from the international political economy is a branch of international relations that examine the mutual interaction between politics and economics at the global level. You get? It focuses on how power and wealth shape international trade, finance, production, and development. It emphasizes that economic relations are governed by political rules. It emphasizes that economic relations are governed by political rules. The third concept that is common in the exam is international economic relation. You know, we've talked about political economy. We've talked about international political economy. Now we're not talking about international economic relation. international economic relation. So international economic relation refer to the economic interaction among states. It refers to the economic interaction among states and other international actors. International economic relation refer to the economic interaction. It refers to the economic interactions among states and other international actors. It involves both cooperation and conflict. It involves, no, leave that one, leave it. It involves, so no. Take. Take. It's okay. Yeah, I think I will stop the class. I'm the only one with this boy, so you will not let me concentrate. Let me finish with this one before I stop. So international economic relations refer to the economic interaction among states and other international actors. It involves both cooperation and conflict as states pursue national interests with an interdependent global economy. It involves both cooperation and conflict as states pursue national interests with an interdependent global economy. I think this is the end of my class. Let me stop. Let me stop the recording.